Hey, welcome back. I'm Corey.
I'm Kim.
And today we're going to talk to you about some incentives that are available when purchasing a home. A lot of these tools can be used to save you a ton of money, yet not too many people actually know about them.
Yeah.
So there's 4 programs we'll go over. If you wanted to start with
Sure.
one of the big
these
ones?
2 are pretty exciting. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but the one is Canada Greener Homes Grant. This one here, you can get up to $5,000 depending on what you're doing to your home. So the initial step would be you have to fill out the application. The government site will put those links on here for you. But you have to fill out the application and they will hook you up with an inspection. So an inspector comes to your home and they're like an energy audit basically. Mm-hmm. And it's about $600. You have to pay that up front. And once they approve you for this, you get that money back in the end. So they do the audit and they tell you, yes, your windows, if you do your windows, there's insulation, your thermostat, there's quite a list of different things that you can do in your home to improve the energy and energy efficiency. And if you complete those, you get certain, I guess like for windows, you would get whatever, $1,000 per window, or I don't know what the costs are, but they...
Yeah, it depends on what service you're getting on. So like Windows, I think it's up to 1,000. Thermostat, they give you up to 50. But like with smart thermostats, for example, you can get a Nest, like a Nest thermostat, right? Yeah. Why not get an extra $50 off it, right?
Right.
So like those are just some of the aspects of it. And
so up to $5,000. So you would complete all of the items. You'd have to, out of pocket, you have to actually put the money out for those things. Mm-hmm. And then you have to submit the receipts and everything else, and then they give you the check back.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool process. I did it myself about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they had a similar program.
Okay.
My front door was just a massive draft coming through. So they came in, they did the audit, they said, okay, you know what, your door could be replaced, seal up some of these windows, mm-hmm. and so I went out, got a new door, an energy efficient door, mm-hmm. had it installed, did the ceiling. I think the door was like $2,500 or something like that.
Nice.
But I ended up getting almost all of it back.
Oh wow, you did.
It was crazy. Huh. So like these incentives, like the fact that I could have just been out of pocket,
right,
on a credit card, accruing interest on that, when you have these programs available to help you save
mm-hmm.
you money.
Yeah, that was awesome. So that one's been out for a while. So I think some people know about that one. Mm-hmm. I think the newer one though is the $40,000. Which that is huge. So this is an actual $40,000 interest-free loan, mm-hmm. which it's kind of a similar system, but they're actually going to pay for your renovations. It's not, they're going to give you a loan for your renovations. So they come and do the energy audit.
Yep.
And then they would, again, the $600 will be, I don't know if they pay that back on that one. Or if that just goes into the loan. Yeah,
so it's a $600 credit that they'll give you back towards the pre and post inspection.
Oh,
so depending on where you go, there might be different charges.
Right.
But for the most part, the $600 can usually cover
mm-hmm.
the entire cost of the pre and post inspections.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that one, I mean, again, you have to put the money out. But I think you said there was some type of program where they would be. They're able to fund you the deposits for the contractors.
Yeah, so
before that happens.
If you go to the website, you'll see that it talks about exceptions for some of the down payments, because it might be tough to get all that money right up front.
Right.
Especially when you're looking at a $40,000 renovation, right?
Right.
So, the program, it's funny because I've never heard anyone actually talk about this program before.
Yeah.
And if you just calculate it out on a $40,000 loan, let's just say you mm-hmm. take out a $40,000 loan for your windows, your doors, mm-hmm. your thermostat, all that, you would literally save tens of thousands of dollars over 10
years, yeah,
by just doing this program.
Right, interest free. Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge program, and it kind of includes like a lot of cool things too. Like I had someone ask me, like, what about a furnace? Mm-hmm. Is a furnace included? A furnace itself isn't. AC not necessarily not included either, but heat pump systems are available.
Okay.
So they're a more energy efficient way of doing
mm-hmm.
it. Some of you might know them. It's called mini splits, and you might have seen them before. They're
it's kind a ductless heating system, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they're like that. Kind of looks like a half air conditioner
mm-hmm.
on the side of the house, and you go in. It's kind of got this kind of big looking like AC system on the inside too as well. So now those are part of the program. So those are much more energy efficient than your traditional HVAC system.
So if someone has electric heat in their home, that would be a perfect solution for them. Yeah.
Like you got an old boiler system, you've got a smaller house, you don't need a big footprint. It's a great tool that could be used for that. So those that's one of the incentives that I think like everyone should look into.
40,000, yeah, exactly. If you're looking to obviously new kitchen not included.
Unfortunately not. They have to be energy efficient related upgrades. So yeah, a new kitchen, a new bathroom. I mean, if you want to get new insulation that's gonna that improve the heating and cooling in your house, then yeah, if that's part of the kitchen, sure. But yeah, you don't get the granite countertops or anything like that with it. So
that sucks. But what else is on the list?
First-time homebuyer incentive. So this is a big one. They've always kind of had these types of incentives out, but there is a newer one that just launched within the last year. So this is a shared equity program. So how it would work is let's say you put down a $20,000 down payment on the house. The government can match up to 5% of that on an existing home, bringing your down payment up to $40,000.
Okay.
So that can save you over. Let's say your monthly payment on a $400,000 mortgage with current interest rates, you'll probably save about $150 a month. Now, how it works is it goes on your, it shows up as a second charge mortgage. It has a 25-year repayment in a non-interest bearing account.
Okay.
So it's kind of neat. So you can basically, the catch with it though is if you go to sell your house, then you do have to pay it back. If you go to refinance your mortgage, this is where you might get different answers from different financial institutions. So some will trigger it on a refi, some won't.
Oh, okay.
So I have actually spoke with a couple of different mortgage agents saying, and I've gotten different answers from both. So it's something you do want to ask about when you're speaking with your mortgage broker, your mortgage agent, when applying.
Still, it's basically free money.
Yeah, well, it kind of is. Now, the catch...
Interest-free money.
Yeah, the catch is if you do sell or if you trigger on refinance, you do have to pay that 5% back. Now, if the house does appreciate, let's say it depreciates 5% over that time, you do have to pay your 5% plus 5% on that appreciation.
Oh, okay.
Let's say it increases by 20% over that time. They actually cap it at 8%.
Oh,
okay. So you pay your 5% back plus up to an 8%.
Okay.
So yes, the government will share in some of the profits that you make on this. So it's not just like a free money program. Right. But let's flip the coin. With the market we're at right now, prices are going down.
Right.
So, okay, I go to sell my house, now I just lost money. Like the government gave me money and now I got to pay them back more. It's because it's a shared program, they also share in the losses.
Oh, okay.
So
that's good.
If your value does go down, it would be that 5% less the depreciation.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty fair program. And I think it's for first-time home buyers, if you really want to lower those monthly costs, it's something that they should definitely look into to take advantage of. Ask your bank, ask your mortgage agent when you're applying for that, getting that pre-approval, and then they can set you up on the right process to get you started on that.
Yeah, perfect. And what was there's one more that we were going to talk about.
The last one was, and it's a tongue twister for me for some odd reason, so it is the Basement Flooding Protection Subsidy Program. I had to cheat and look at that on the board.
It's quite long.
So this is also a program I've used myself. In Riverside, I flooded twice. So
along with everyone else in Riverside.
Yeah. So if for anyone that has flooded, I'm sure you know about this program. I'm sure you can relate to it. But for those who don't and are in an area that may be flood prone, or you have a basement, you don't have a sump pump, you don't have a back water valve, this program can cover up to $2,800 to get that stuff done. So they'll come in, they'll do an audit, you get the work done, and you apply to get that money back from the city. Myself, I had the floor drains disconnected from my house. Sump pump went off like every hour.
Oh, wow.
After they did that, it goes off maybe once or twice a day.
Oh, okay.
So it's and my basement has been bone dry since I've had this program done.
Perfect.
So things like this
definitely
to prevent.
A plus.
Yeah.
I think your insurance would probably go down a bit too.
I've got my...
Well, the flood insurance, this is a whole other... Can you get flood insurance in Riverside right now?
So as of now, I know some companies have brought it back.
But it's super costly.
It is very costly. And if you do believe you have flood protection, make sure you're reviewing your insurance policy, because you may have renewed and it might not be on there on the renewal.
Yeah, they just pull it off.
Yeah, this can happen, so make sure you're aware of that.
And look at the dollar amount and what it covers for. Like sewer water, not sewer water.
Yeah.
Is it 5,000? Is it 20? Like 5,000 is not going to be doing much. And if you are paying an extra, you got to look at the cost versus what you're getting for it, right? So.
Yeah. And then we've got to be aware of what's been happening. Like we're seeing flooding more frequent. We're seeing we're in a changing environment. Like let's make sure that we're prepared for these things, so that you're not hit with sticker shock down the road when you have to spend 30, 40, 50,000 to get your basement revamped.
If your basement's unfinished, or even if it is finished, all of your belongings should be on in plastic bins, up higher. Like people are still making these big mistakes of just leaving their stuff in the basement. And the number one thing that I've seen is the grading on houses. Like a lot of people don't realize just changing your grading on the outside of your house is huge, and the downspouts, right? So if your downspouts are back into the sewer, that's obviously not a thing. You're not supposed to be doing that anymore. Yeah. But just even the downspouts, they end right there. They just end, and they're just this massive puddle. If you see a puddle when it rains right at the side of your house, that's obviously a red flag that you need to fix something.
Well, absolutely. That water's got to go somewhere, right?
Exactly. So, especially you have the cinder blocks, that kind of stuff. Those are very easily penetrated with the water. Like we see all the time, basements, just the effervescent, the white, stuff. And pretty soon that turns into leaking and issues in the basement.
Well, you got to think a lot of these homes are coming up on 100 years old, right?
Yeah,
like they were built tough, don't get me wrong, but all it takes is one crack in the block. If that water is pooling up, it's going to find a way into that house. So
for sure.
Make sure you're taking advantage of some of these, these programs like the Basement Flooding Protection Program. Also, we didn't touch on it, but with the Canada Greener Homes Loan Program, there are basement proofing, waterproofing measurements that you can apply for too as well.
Perfect. Yeah, good.
So
there's a lot out there. Yeah. So we're gonna have all of these links right here in this under this podcast, but we're also gonna have the links in our link tree in our Instagram, so that people have that access to that. So. Anyways, this was awesome, and hopefully you got some value out of this, and you can save some money, save some interest.
Saving money, absolutely.
Take advantage of what the government can offer.
Definitely.
Do it.